Nothing left to lose now. Everything to prove now. As long as I'm alive, I'ma fight back. My fire never cools down. I'm about to catch fire. Yeah, I'm about to catch fire. Get ready for the new me. Get ready for the new me. Try to hold me down and I go higher. Try to put me out and I go louder. I'm a fighter, a survivor. Stand back when I catch fire.
It's the 8:05 post show here at the Vans US Open of Surfing, the world's largest action sports festival, and we had some action today on the sand and in the water. Southside Huntington Beach Pier. Wow, what a day. We got it all the way down to the quarterfinals for both our men's and our women's in the Challenger Series. We had a lot of matchups. We had a lot of great surfing. And thank you for joining us. I'm Kuiper Guerrero. Shannon Hughes is with me, as well as the Hall of Famer, Peter Mel.
Pete Mel.
Oh, stop it, you guys.
Pete, what do you think? I mean, first off the bat, your first impression of today's happenings.
Well, I think that today we had some of the best surf. Ultimately, it was way tamer than the last couple days, which helped with performances. We saw some of the biggest, we did see the biggest air we've seen the whole event long. Some great performances from the women as well.
Yeah, and Shannon, I mean, talk about the women. We had some exciting heats there. We had a glimpse into the future, you know, with Molly Picklum and Bella Kenworthy. They really brought on a show.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, Caity Simmers kind of set that tone for us last year, but now we're seeing it backed up by the women that she's been traveling the world with for the last few years. And to see Molly and Bella go head-to-head was really, really fun.
Yeah, and to Pete's point, the fact that the surf has calmed down a little bit really upped the performance scale.
Yeah, it just provided that fun opportunity where the last couple days there's been so many waves available, but it's been stressful. Everyone's been having to do the runarounds, having to just find themselves with a wave that actually allowed them to do a turn. That was difficult. Where today, that little combo swell chipped in and really made it fun and rippable for everyone.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at that heat that we just talked about. Bella Kenworthy versus Molly Picklum. If you missed it, here's some of the highlights right here. Shannon, it was Pickles right from the beginning.
Yeah, straight from the start. Found herself with an 8-point ride. Negotiated that inside double-up section. It was absolutely wild. And then she backed it up with a 7. She only caught the 2 waves for the entire heat. Put on that solid performance on her backhand. Bella Kenworthy in any other heat could have been taking out a win with a 12-point heat total. For her, she put together a really strong heat to me. I was really proud of her performance, but it was just outdone by what we saw from Molly. She did find herself with some really good combos, though. I really liked the look of a couple of turns. Maybe the judges going shy of the scores just because those sections didn't have quite as much pocket or something. But for Molly, it was the victory that she took.
Yeah, well, Peter, you got some opinions on that? I thought Bella Kenworthy really ripped out there, and I thought some of those scores were suppressed. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I do. I think it was way closer than it shows in the points ratio there. I mean, that spread. I mean, first of all, the 8 and the 6.7 for Kenworthy, they almost could have been flopped in my eyes, and then we had a different winner in the heat. But that's just my opinion. I'm not up there in the judging tower. They love the size of the wave Molly's. You know, I took a review of it, watched it. It was a much bigger wave, but I really loved the 6.7 because it was an attack in the lip from Bella Kenworthy, young competitor, put it to Molly. But, you know, I just feel like it was a little closer than it showed up on the scores.
Yeah, my message actually to Bella Kenworthy is hold your head up high. You're 15 years old, and you are right on the level with the world's elite.
I mean, this is her very first international WSL event. She's only competed in QSs regionally and within her own zone. She's never had this sort of field to go against. For her to walk away with an almost quarterfinal finish for the round of 16 is super impressive.
Yeah, one surfer that's going to be in the quarterfinals and put on tremendous performances throughout this event so far is Caroline Marks, and Caroline is with Louisa.
Yeah, and we were just talking how the last time we saw each other was in Brazil, and everybody was talking about how impressed they were with her surfing. And now you come here in this heat and just set the tone with an 8.83. Just that boosts your confidence and just like, you know, okay, I think I'm starting just right.
Yeah, for sure. No, getting scores like that on single maneuvers definitely boosts my confidence. And yeah, it's nice. We have really fun waves today. The last few days have been a lot trickier with the current and the rip, and today is more like typical Huntington and still tons of swell. So it was just nice. It was a little cleaner, and yeah, I was just having fun out there. It was, yeah, a good time.
I know, when you're just like picking your waves and seeing Leilani just paddling and looking for an opportunity. What was going on through, like, in your mind, the rest of the heat?
Yeah, I have tons of respect for Leilani. I've had so many heats against her, and she's such an amazing surfer. And it was really cool to have another goofy footer in the water with me. And yeah, she lives at Pavones too, so she goes left a lot. And there was mainly lefts out there, so I was definitely a little nervous. Oh, she's so good on her forehand. But I was just trying to do my thing and do what I can control. And I knew she was going to be hard to beat. So yeah.
Well, here you are. It worked out just fine. Congratulations, Caroline. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
Back to you guys.
Well, there you go, Caroline Marks. And just a reminder that we're only halfway through that women's round of 16. So we've only set up a couple of quarterfinals. But Shannon, quarterfinal number 2, Molly Picklum, Caroline Marks, your thoughts?
Heat of the event, possibly. Obviously, the final is going to be incredible with whoever makes it through. But the fact that those two are matching up this early-ish in the draw for the quarters, I think it's going to be one to pay close attention to, especially, Pete, with the scores we've just seen drop.
Well, and you're just going to say that those are the two highest scoring surfers in the draw, and they're already matching up in the quarterfinals. You'd like to see them on different sides of the draw, but unfortunately, it's how the seeding is, so they're going to be matched up, and it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, well, that's the women's portion. That's how we ended the day, but we started the day with the round of 24 for the men, and a young Australian, Joel Vaughn, just 18 years old, came up against Jadson Andre as well as Eric Geiselman, and it was the teenager out of Australia that put on the show, Pete.
Yeah, he did, and this is a golden opportunity. He hasn't had a lot of success in this Challenger Series so far this season, and putting it together here at the Vans US Open. And with that, he's going to build a ton of confidence, being able to beat some of the best, beat Championship Tour surfers. So he's taking a lot of confidence, and you could see him all the way into the quarters.
Well, Joel Vaughn actually advanced out of the round of 16 as well. And this young man is going to be in the quarters. And it's an incredible story for Joel Vaughn, Shannon, in that this is his first Challenger Series where he's made it out of his first heat, and now he's made it all the way to the quarterfinals.
I mean, what a run to be on. And for him to have someone like Danny Nichols in his corner, a local, to help a young Australian in his very first US Open find some rhythm, know how to pick the waves on a day where there's really good waves on offer, but picking out the right ones are how you're going to get the scores. And that's how he started out in that first heat in the round of 24. And we could see him doing pretty good with that kind of team behind him.
Yeah, and he's solid. And speaking of team, he stayed down here to support Molly Picklum. They're from the same town in Australia. So hats off. We're going to see Joel Vaughn in the quarterfinals. You know what, Pete? Don't call it a comeback because he's been here for years. Our Cal, Ryan Callinan, is showing some great form here at Huntington Beach. Our Cal, coming off of injuries, that mid-season cut didn't work his way. He came up here against Edouard Grosjean.
Yeah, and Edouard Grosjean has been one to watch because he's very compact and very quick in his transition. But I will say that Ryan Callinan has put it on since the very first heat of this event. He has been the standout heat in and heat out all around. So I would say that he's probably my favorite. I know some of the people in the truck are actually feeling the same way with our Cal. Just being able to produce big turns like that, but also going above the lip. He's got both backhand and forehand, all the weapons you need for winning at the US Open.
Yeah, what do you think, Shannon? Our Cal back, the hand looks good, and the surfing's sharp.
Yeah, the surfing is super sharp, and I think I touched on it earlier today. The fact that at Manly, at the Sydney Surf Pro, where he walked away second to Rio Waida, it was kind of similar conditions to this. A little bit bigger Manly than we're used to seeing, and Ryan was on fire. He kept bringing the variety of the rail game as well as the airs, and Rio Waida's out of the draw. Ryan Callinan's definitely the best man going forward now. And for Edouard Grosjean, bummer to go out this early, but a great result.
Yeah, Ryan Callinan, the only surfer coming into this event in the top 10, still in competition. So this is a great opportunity for Ryan Callinan to gobble up some points where basically the other guys in the top 10, they got a throwaway at this event.
That's right. And if, based on the points and how things are rolling out with Rio already out of the draw, he is actually secured in that #1 spot. But if Ryan takes out the win, he could jump Leo and take #2 heading into the next event.
Well, let's take a look at all the surfers, because we've surfed all the way to the quarterfinals in our Men's Challenger Series. And this is when we have fun, Peter, and when we make some picks. And I don't want to pick who's going to win quarterfinal number 1, quarterfinal number 2. I want you to swing for the fence. Who's going to win the event, Peter Mel?
Well, I already said it. I think Ryan Callinan's the guy to beat.
You're going to stick with that?
Yeah, I am. It's just, I like the top half of the draw. I'll go with Eitan Onsboard. He's been producing some excellent airs, and if he can keep that type of caliber of surfing going on through the top half of the draw, it could be a Callinan Eitan Osborne final.
All right, and your thoughts, Shannon?
You know, he just took it right out of my mouth. Eitan, for me, in that top half of the draw has been the standout, but I've also really liked what Liam O'Brien is bringing to the table. Seeing him back in true form, feeling good after injury, I could see him going all the way. He's done it before as far as finaling here. And then Joao Chianca, that's such a tough draw for him to come against Ryan. I could see that being another one of those John matchups or the close calls he's had before. Maybe it goes in his favor and he goes all the way.
Well, that's the surfing right there. You know, that's what's happening on the front half. And the back half behind us, well, ahead in front of us, actually, because that's the ocean behind us, is the whole Van Doren Village and all the activations and the marketplace and the skateboarding and the BMX. There's so many things happening here at the Vans US Open of Surfing.
That's, hey, we talked about it. It's the biggest sports festival in the world, and that's the reason why is you've got all these activities here with that BMX and skate. That's a big part of it, but also obviously the fun. You got Flying Embers. You got the 805. You've got the you want to spend money? You can go here and spend some money. Yeah, we got a great store. And then we also have services. So you put a hole in your wetsuit, you're rushed in the parking lot. You know what? Stitchbox is on the beach doing wetsuit repair. What a service.
Oh, it's amazing. I checked my wetsuits, my husband and I. Unfortunately, they're all kind of new, so they don't have any stitches that are needed. But so cool to know that you can come down, keep that a little bit longer in life.
And you gotta visit the Vans retail store. It's giant. Just wave your flags in the air like you just don't care. And if you like checkered kicks and all that good stuff, let me hear you say, oh yeah.
No, I'm not gonna rap with you.
It's an incredible time over there. You can customize shoes, shirts. They got all your favorites as well as the new stuff like the Ultra Range VR3, Vans' most sustainable footwear to date. There's the Ultra Range VR3. It's comfortable. It's got that eco insole cork. My dogs are happy all day. There's Peter's.
Yeah, fresh too.
All right. With that, that's a perfect transition into the Stillhouse Unbreakable Top 5. And we got a great Top 5 today. I'm telling you that. First of all, Macy Callinan with this buzzer beater, Shannon.
Oh, crazy. I mean, I kind of thought she was going to be knocked out and it was going to be not the greatest result for her. But to keep it together, that mental game going strong as well. She's got such a good team behind her, getting to travel with her partner Sheldon and both of them making it through some rounds. For her to pull it together on the finish like this was an absolute clutch performance. So proud of her, and I can't wait to see if she makes it back. And to see that passion come out of her, I think was a really good thing to see where she's currently sitting.
Luca Macinas, Peter, doing it for Peru.
Yeah, he's got that backhand, that lethal backhand, and he was able to pull it out this morning and into the afternoon, getting himself that quarterfinal finish. But that turn right there was so beautiful. Just the way he was able to arc, get the tail release, and still showcase a ton of power.
Number 3, Chumbinho. Joao Chianca charges.
Wow, I mean, he had another close call, but pulled it through on this one, made that advancing position, and was absolutely charging solid size sets here at the south side at the Huntington Beach Pier, charging across that hot sand as well.
And Molly Picklum, Pickles, just outstanding surfing, at 8 and a 7, Pete.
Oh, well, you know, she did pull it together. I was talking about this one. She did give a good run in this heat. Her surfing has been stellar throughout this season in the Challenger Series and deserves every accolade that she has. So good job by Molly Picklum. Yeah,
and that leads us over to number 1. It is making Ventura proud. Eitan Osborne, a 9.67 for this air of the event. Incredible.
Air of the event, absolutely. Goes for that, gets that full rotation through, does the stand tall claim, straight back to the beach. Team there, Brett Merrick shaping his boards, the whole Al Merrick crew cheering him on. Channel Islands, well done, Eitan.
Pete, that's your crew. You're part of the Channel Islands crew. Do you have a little uncle pride right now for young Eitan?
I think one of the best parts of that whole story is that board was buckled from the air he did yesterday, where he buckled it.
Serious?
It got fixed overnight and brought to him this morning at 8 a.m. and
That's
was able to
amazing.
ride it. And so that right there, you talk about having a good design team and a good team behind you. That's a prime example of it right there.
Gosh, that's the best pit crew in the business.
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't have to do nothing. You said, here, take it. And it had creases. That was a full buckle. So, and it looks like it didn't even get fixed. It's awesome.
Wow, unreal. Well, thank you, Peter. Thank you, Shannon. And thank you for watching. Remember, you don't have to wait for the call. I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to be on tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's when the coverage starts. See you then. It's the Vans US Open, anticipating another big day on the south side of the pier.
One of the best forecasts we've had for this event.
And everything I do it to be the best at it. You don't wanna squab, you don't really wanna mob, you don't wanna know your eyes when it comes to the best. You ain't never tried, you ain't never tried, you ain't never ride or survive over time with the best. I've been doing this show my whole life. I've been doing this show my whole life.
We see red going through the roof.
Rosia now.
Wow.
That right there is just meat and potatoes, power surfing.
Put up, dream chase for the cardio. It's like a leg day going hard. I'm kicking around balls, spar on the audio. I got much work that I'm putting in. Taught self-worth, never thought I couldn't win. Ain't a rule out there that I couldn't be in. Every L was a lesson and I took it in.
What a close heat, just 0.06.
Surfer from Peru jams the first one, and he goes under the lip on the second.
You don't wanna squab, you don't really wanna mob, you don't wanna know your eyes when it comes to the best. You ain't never tried, you ain't never tried, you ain't never ride or survive over time with the best.
Above the lip. What? Massive air reverse. Aton Osborne. Oh my.
Hold it.
You don't wanna squab, you don't really wanna mob, you don't wanna know your eyes when it comes to the best. You ain't never tried, you ain't never tried, you ain't never ride or survive over time with the best. I've been doing this show my whole life. I've been doing this show my whole life. I've been doing this show my whole life. I've been doing this show my whole life.
We wanted it. Ryan completes it.
Callinan into the quarterfinals.
Round of 16 for the women. The Challenger Series rolls on.
Ooh, wow, that was a vicious one.
White ice for me, come machine. Fake you said this girl was sweet. I'm the touch of a bee. Yeah, I'm the touch of a bee.
That was nuts.
I'm the touch of a bee.
Caroline Marks finds a huge section.
Those gnarly.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.